I'm feeling kind of icky, but I was just like trying to reframe and tell myself, like, you literally woke up like not even 2 hours ago and you did your workout, you took your meds, you showered, you moisturized, and now you're here. You prayed in the shower and you're doing your skincare. Like, give my bitch a break. And I've been thinking about how during this like Saturn return last few years, like my focus really has been on, you know, the idea of discipline and like routine and ritual, because if I don't like add some type of sacredness or like see the sacredness in what I'm doing, bitch, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm bored. Get somebody else to do it. And so a part of that is I just also use the serapeptides, the Laneige Cream Skin toner and moisturizer. I love her. I got her as a part of the like one of the Sephora Beauty Insider thingies. And then I did this glow up serum, which is watermelon and niacinamide, and I'm just letting it chill before I good old hydro boost. Not too crazy, not too much. But oh, and of course, yeah, that's that shit right there. But in terms of like bringing in the sacred, bringing in the divine into like the shit that's like nothing about this feels divine. Devotion is discipline, or devotion like facilitates my discipline. That word, especially if you're black, has a lot of like violent connotations, the idea of discipline, and I hated it when I first started like having to engage with it. And what shifted for me was like adding the romance and the sacred to those practices by being like, this is like how I show my devotion to Nasra. Like, I'm a twin, not in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense. And that journey is, you know, everybody has theirs, but ultimately, like, it has really shown me, like, how are you coming into union with yourself, and how are you in divine partnership with yourself. Especially as a queer person, like, I've always had a different understanding intuitively of like what relationships are, and I've always been like my dream is like to be a best friend, you know, like I've always wanted my little squad. I've always like kept friendship at the center of my life, and relationships and the quality of them at the center of my life. I have a lot of 7th house placements too, so how can I be in better partnership with me and a lot of the different versions of me that exist, so I don't go fucking nuts. And being devoted to like Nasra's health, being devoted to Nasra's like dream, you know, life, being devoted to Nasra's body and like how they like imagine it looking in like clothes and feeling every day, like the things that it will allow them to do. I also think about myself like a parent, you know. It's like in therapy, there's therapy system, a model that's like the family system. So you essentially like are, there's a kid in you, there's parents, a mom and a dad, or, guardians in you, there's like a grandparent in you, all of that. And that's also indigenous knowledge. But how am I like being the parent to myself, being the like dad I never had, being, the kind of mom that I had, but that I wish I, not the one I had, but the one I'd like want to become. How do I talk to myself? How do I prioritize those relationship dynamics in my body, in my soul, of my soul, and devotion in replacement of discipline, the language of discipline, has really, really, really supported me. And I feel like if you are somebody that struggles with the idea of discipline, or like in those moments, even especially as a neurodivergent, I'm autistic and have ADHD, and like being like my ADHD self needing spontaneity, needing enticement, and the unknown, and also like just be like needing to be able to flow from one thing to the next. And then my autism being like, but bitch, we can flow as long as like we can trust where we're going, and structure and repetition are what have supported that side of me. And so finding, structure and a way to engage with like structure that still allows for things to be different and things to change, without the fundamental being changed, has been like, mighty. And like just an example, it's like today I get this kind of like spark up when I wake up, and it's important that I use that to like move my body usually. And so I have like a couple exercise routines that I just go back to. And today I decided like I'm only gonna do one part of one, because I did a lot of the other part, one of the other ones like yesterday, and I just want to conserve some of my energy to do other things today. And it's like having like a Rolodex of options that all kind of get the job done, but they meet like different levels of where I might be at. So instead of expecting myself to like think about routine, or like I was successful and disciplined as me doing the same like thing every day and making myself feel the same way, like that's not how it works. Especially if like you have a uterus, like you have a hormone cycle, like you're not gonna feel the same every day. And shout outs to Clothe the God, the album I Feel Different Every Day, and that song title track is exactly it. It's like, what do I know? I feel different every day. But I think that's really natural, and I don't want to waver from still being like loving to myself every day, and that's what devotion is like, I just really love that person, and like I want to show up for them daily, in the same way that people will be like, oh, like if your partner doesn't text you for a day, like, or 2 days or whatever, like they don't love you. And like, not if you have like different agreements to what that is, but like, just based off what's expected for someone to show up. I like get to be the closest to Nasra out of anybody. That's my blessing in this life, and I really have to like frame my life and my relationship to myself like that, because like my self-esteem and my confidence and my will to live depend on it. Like I have to love myself. Even if I don't like myself every day, you're not gonna like your partner every day. You're not gonna like your like every aspect of everything that's going on in your life every day. But like I do want to love my life, and I do want to love being me, because there's already enough things out there that are telling me like fucking die. Like actually reject that part of yourself, reject that part of yourself. Like this is why you should hate this and this, and it's too much. So I'm gonna do that in my own home? No. So I like, yeah, I try and keep things fluid, but not without like faltering in terms of consistency, because I also know everything that you repeat like embeds itself in your frequency and in your, you know, habits. And so I also, the days where I'm just like I don't want to fucking do anything, I have something on that list for the days that I don't want to fucking do anything. That's still something, you know. I have like ensures, the diabetes one, glucerna, because my mom's diabetic, and there's diabetes in my family. So like, yeah, we just keep things, you know, glucose friendly in this house, and I keep those for the days where it's just like I can't imagine like doing my breakfast properly. It's okay. Even my workouts are like low impact, like like nothing that's gonna like spike my heart rate up too far, because I don't want to like hate moving my body. And I'm also healing from a neurological disorder that is like caused by like the burnout of my brain and the cortisol and adrenaline overload in my body, just stress and distress. So my workouts are already tailored to somebody who like can't afford high intensity. I'm trying to like soft life, and I've found more benefit, like both aesthetically, how my body is shaping up, and like with my ability to stay consistent, because I know I'm not just gonna be wrecked after, and that's okay. Like there actually isn't a prize for working the hardest, when what working hard is like working against yourself. A lot of people like, you know, get ready, drive to the gym, do all the things that you need to do to get in the gym. And I used to do this, like, but not drive. I don't do that. But like, you know, be like, okay, like I'm working out, so I have to do all this stuff to get there. Bitch, today I hopped out the bed naked, turned on my little workout, 20 minutes, did it naked. I ain't even bother to put clothes on. I didn't bother to get my mat out. And the reason why I didn't do my core exercises too, even though I did a lot of them yesterday, like I was like, I don't want to fucking lay my mat out. I don't have it. If I have to shower and moisturize after this, I'm gonna use the energy I need for that and make it the most accessible so that it gets done. so that I can have the gift of consistency and feel like the fullness of my devotion. Like, if my partner does something and they don't do it all the way, if I just see that she's trying, sometimes the trying is not enough, and you have to be clear about that. Have to be clear about that, and allow yourself to say, I want more. And when there's an earnest try and enough of it happens, enough of like truly the need is met, phenomenal. And then, I pray like the next day is coming, I make up for that little bit that I didn't get the full need met. If I don't get all my nutrients in today, like inshallah, like me just giving myself grace and not pushing and not shaming myself will allow me tomorrow to meet myself and be like, let's try again, and it looks like we have a little bit more. Fantastic. But it's like, I'm grateful, Nasra, for what you're able to do. I see that you're working. Thank you for loving me. I'm sad we couldn't get it all the way, but tomorrow's another day, or the evening's another evening, or whatever the hell it is. But at the end of the day, like, it's me and you, baby. I'm devoted. I'm obsessed with you. I am obsessed. And it's because, like, it's not out of narcissism or, like, vain energy or whatever. It's that, like, if you know you're loved by God, if you're building a relationship there with Source, with something larger, with nature, with love, there's something in you that just like fills you with light, the sun, you know what I mean? Your kids, your besties, like music, your favorite pop star, your nerdy little interest, whatever makes you feel like there's something, anything in this waking world that makes this shit worth it. That's God to me. That's spirit to me. That's the universe. And when you know that that's there, like, and you're building an intentional, fun relationship with it, like, you're getting something back. And I wouldn't be able to engage with that thing if I didn't exist, if I wasn't embodied, if I didn't have a name, and and so I love that for me. Like, I love that I exist so I can love XYZ. And discipline doesn't need to be a punishment. It's not. It's what's necessary to give you everything that you fucking deserve, that you see for yourself. Devotion is hot. Devotion is sexy. And it's how I've managed to do a lot of shit that is not, quote unquote, the sexy part of living a dream life. And it does make the shit worth it. That's what's in my medicine bag today. Love y'all. Love y'all down. Stay devoted, girl. You deserve it.